Tableau 101, version 10, Analytic features. So now I'm going to show you the Analytics tab. So usually when you open a worksheet, you'll automatically be in the Data tab. But for Tableau 10, they've added this new feature, which is the Analytics tab. So what's available here is a simple drag and drop that allows you to see more analytics on your graph. So I'm going to show you an example here. Over here you can see constant line. So if you drag that open, you can go over table, and then it asks you, what value would you like to put it. So you might want to use this if you want to have a benchmark, and let's say if I wanted to set it at 90, then you can go there. And then you can always hover over whatever analytic that you have produced. So I'm going to hover over 90, click on it, and then you can edit it, format it, or remove it. So I'm going to remove it. And then the same will go for average, median with quartiles, and total. So I'm just going to show you one more, like median with total, median with quartiles. So you can do it over the whole entire table, or you can do it for different panes, or you can do it for every individual cell. So I'm going to do it over the table so you can see that. And then this one shows you, what the average is, what the lower quartile and what the higher quartiles are. So, quartiles, totals, average, 95% confidence, median, they're all very similar to this one. So I'm not going to show that again. And then you can do custom. So you can do reference lines, reference bands, distribution bands, whatever you like, based on a customization over here. Or even box graphs, for example. So now I'm going to show you the other two examples. One is trend line, forecast, and then cluster. So I'm going to remove all of my trend lines first and the clusters. So here you have a scatter plot, and then you'll see on the left-hand side there's trend line. So if I take trend line and I hover over it, you'll see that there's different models that I can plot. So here I'm interested in a linear model, so I'm going to bring that over, and you'll see that it draws a linear line to see the model. And if you hover over the line, it tells you what the equation is, what the r squared is. So for the r squared, the higher it is, the more closer it is to 1, the more correlated it is. So this one is just less than half, somewhat positively correlated. So that's a good way of telling what the correlation of between attack and defense is. So that's telling me that in general, if defense is higher, then the attack value is going to be higher. So I'm going to just remove that. Next one is cluster. So Tableau automatically uses 8 different types of models to calculate a cluster, and cluster is just using those 8 different types of models to calculate relationships between these data points. So you can let them choose how many clusters you want to make. For example, let's say I want to do 9, or you can do automatic like it was before. And then I just calculate it too. So based on those 8 different models, it calculates the relationship characteristics between the data points, and then here it has segregated it into 2 different clusters. So now I'm going to show you the forecast function. So under the Analytics tab, there is a forecast function, and this allows you to predict based on the current data what could happen in the future. So it's really simple. All you have to do is drag and drop it into forecast, and then now here it tells me what the estimate is and what the actual is, and it kind of gives you a wider range. So it's estimating that in 2013 the pressure will be 3 million, for example. If you want to edit it, you will click onto this and click edit. So here you can choose what the forecast length is, and right now it's automatic, but you can change it to exactly 1 year until when, and then you can say aggregate the data by what, and then over here you can choose the forecast model. So you can choose automatic, or you can choose automatic without seasonality, or you can customize it. So if you customize it, it gives you an option to customize your trend and your seasonality. So the trend is the tendency of the data to increase or decrease over time. And then the seasonality is the repeating predictable variation in value, such as the annual fluctuations in temperature relative to the season. And then within each of these, you have an additive or multiplicative option. So an additive option is one that calculates the model based on having the components summed, whereas the multiplicative one is when the components are multiplied. So just to give you an example, if you're looking at sales, predicting sales, and you're looking at it over time, so if you're using an additive type of model, then the model will be taking July sales minus January sales and adding it each interval to get the model. Whereas if you use a multiplicative model, it would be using a percentage. So it would go and look at what's the difference in percentage between the change in sales between January and July, and then I'm going to use that same increase or decrease in percentage and calculate my model.